guys, welcome back to my channel. In this week's video, as you could probably read by the title, I don't even know what I'm going to title this video, but I did like a affordable look, affordable product, I guess, on the Dose of Colors ILUVSARAHI palette, the blue shade or the blue eye makeup look that everyone's been doing. I did like a more affordable take on it. So if you guys, first of all, guess which eye is the Dose of Colors blue and guess which eye is the more affordable. Before you watch the video, comment down below. I just want to know if any of you can guess it. But if you guys want to see how I got this more affordable look of the Dose of Colors blue eye that everyone's been doing, then just keep on watching. So I've been seeing a lot of people use this shade. I think it's called Palma. Use this shade to do a eye look, and I've been dying to use it, but I also wanted to do like a, I don't know how to call it, but like a cheaper version of the same look, if that makes sense, because I know the shade is like super popular and some people might want the blue but not want to spend so much money on the palette or get the whole palette because they know they won't be using all the shades, if that makes sense. So I just want to create a look using this palette on one eye and then like a cheaper version of the same look on my other eye. And for the cheaper look or the cheaper alternative product I have is the L'Oreal eyeshadow in Endless Sea. As soon as I saw this, I was like, oh my god, it looks exactly like the shade in the palette. Let me show you guys an up close. I think the one in the palette is a little bit darker, so I'm gonna do a swatch. Oh yeah, they're sorta different. Wow. So this is the L'Oreal and this is the Dose of Colors. So the Dose of Colors is a little bit darker. Wow, they're both very pretty. So that's Dose of Colors and that's L'Oreal. I think now that they're swatched, they don't look as, or the Dose of Colors doesn't look as dark. So I'm excited. Okay, so in no way am I saying that these shadows are exactly the same. I kind of just saw both of them and I just thought you could use this if you didn't want to get this or if you don't want to spend the money on this. So this is just my little take on it. I hope you guys enjoy it. And if you guys like this, then please let me know. Like a high-end palette versus like a drugstore palette or like a dupe. I don't want to say it's a dupe because I don't even know if it is because I haven't tried either of them. So this is kind of just at first glance. If you want the look, this is your cheaper alternative. Alrighty, so to get started, I'm just going to quickly fill in my eyebrows and I'll be right back. Okay, so my eyebrows are done, and then to prime my eyes, I used my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, and then to set my eyelids, I used the Catrice Prime and Set. I think that's what it's called. It is, yeah, Prime and Fine Mattifying Powder to set that concealer in place. And I guess we can move on to the eyeshadow portion. So I'm going to do one eye with the Dose of Colors palette and then one eye with the L'Oreal, obviously. And for the transition colors, I still wanted it to be like the drugstore, more affordable. On my left side for the cheaper version, so I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild Rosé in the Air palette, and I'm obviously only going to use 2 transition colors because we only have 2 looks like that palette. Oh, I'm not even showing you guys, but I think I'm going to be using this and this as the transition colors, and then these 2, can you even see this, and then this brick red shade for this shade, if that makes sense. And then to highlight my inner corner, I think I'll use this from the Dose of Colors palette, and then these mixed up because this is a little bit of a brownie, like a gold shade, and I wanted it to be a bit more icy, and I still want to keep it in one palette, so I'm just going to use that. Oh, and somebody brought up to my attention that this palette kind of reminds them of the Prism palette, which I sort of agree now that I saw it like a little bit. I don't know what it is, but I kind of see it too. I feel like Wanderlust and Loungy sort of look like Eden and Saturn from the Prism palette. I don't know, but like they look so close. But okay, anyways, to get started, I'm just going to take the Dose of Colors palette, and I am going to take, I believe this is called Loungy, I want to say, because I know this is Finger or Finders Keepers, so I believe this is Loungy. So I'm just going to take Loungy on a, what brush is this? Lab 2 Just Blending In brush, and I'm just going to sweep that across my right lid as my transition color. So far I just picked up literally the tiniest bit of shadow, and it's super pigmented. It's blending out really nicely. And then we're going to go into the Wet n Wild palette. I'm going to clean my brush. I still want to use the same brush, if that makes sense, just so we see how it performs, so we're not changing honestly anything but the shadow. And like I said, I'm going to take this brick shade right here, or this orangey shade right here, and I am just going to apply that on my left crease. So right off the bat, these two shades are literally so close. This one's a little bit more orangey. Okay, so I'm just going to take my Morphe M433 brush. I cleaned it off. That's not eyeshadow, I promise. The brush is clean. I'm going to take, what is this? Wanderlust, I believe. And I'm going to run that through my crease again just to deepen it up a little. That's picking up so much shadow. It's crazy. I'm going to clean off my brush again and take the brick shade right here in this palette and do the same thing as I did on my right eye. I feel like the major difference that I see in the two shadows is the Dose of Colors shadows are a little bit more vibrant, if that makes sense. Yeah, but that's like the only major thing that I see. Other than that, they're both blending out super easily. They both look beautiful. You don't have to go out and spend, you know, I don't know how much this pot was, but you don't actually have to go out and like spend 40, 50 bucks on a palette when you could literally not even spend 20 bucks. Not even 15 or 10. So yeah, I feel like my whole point of this video is to say that drugstore brands are literally stepping up their game, and I'm here for it. I love it. So I think I'm going to take the blue shade Palma in the palette and apply it to my right side, or my right eye. I kind of am going for like a halo look. And just so you guys know, I literally have no fallout except this shade just a little bit because this is a bit more glittery, but I don't mind it. Just do your eyes before you do your face makeup. I'm going to take this Morphe or BH Cosmetics 9 brush. I'm going to pick up that blue shade and just lay it nicely. I feel like I should have laid concealer down under this shadow because I feel like it would have looked even more vibrant, and the glitter would have stuck more to the concealer or eyeshadow primer, or maybe even glitter glue. But it's fine, I guess. You live and you learn. I just wanted to see how it would work on its own. It's not bad, but I feel like it would have looked even better with a primer, concealer, or glitter shadow or glitter primer. So it's fine. It's not a huge deal for me. So then I'm going to take this Wet n Wild brush and pick up more of that Wanderlust shade and just blend out the edges. Okay, so for the other eye, I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to take the L'Oreal eyeshadow and just pop it in the center of my eye. This isn't as glittery though. Okay, so one thing I can say for sure with this Dose of Colors palette is the blue shade is super glittery. And even though I'm wiping it off, I still have glitter everywhere, but it's fine. And now that I have these shadows on my eyes, they sort of look different, but it's fine. We're gonna, it's a affordable look. It's not gonna be exactly the same, so we're just gonna go with it. I'm gonna take the Brick shade from the Wet n Wild palette, and I'm going to blend out the blue on my left eye. So for my brow bone highlight, I'm going to take Poquito Más right here. And then I'm going to flip the brush on the other side and take this shade from the Wet n Wild palette. I'm just going to do a quick wing, and I'm going to take my NYX matte liner. So I'm just going to pop on my lashes and do my face makeup, and I'll be right back to let you guys know of what I think and if the palette is worth it or not. I am all finished with the eye makeup, and this is what I think. As you guys could see, the eyeshadows did not look the same. Let me give you guys a close-up. This is the Dose of Colors, and this is the L'Oreal. Okay, so just to put that out there, neither of the eye makeup looks bad. I'm just saying that they don't look similar. It does look sort of the same, so if you didn't want to spend the extra coin on buying the Dose of Colors ILUVSARAHI palette, which I think you should because the packaging is beautiful. My mom also thought the packaging was beautiful. This is actually my first ever product from them, and I really enjoyed it. The shadows are beautiful. The packaging is stunning. So I really don't have anything bad to say about this, even though I only used 4 of these shades, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 of these shades. I mean, that's more than half of the palette. So I have a decent opinion on what I think of the palette, and I really liked it. But as far as the blue in here and the L'Oreal blue, 2 totally different blues. Wow. It sort of looks the same in the pan and like in the palette, but honestly once you put it on, they are totally different. Totally different. I really like both of these shadows. I think they're very pretty, very beautiful. Okay, so yeah, I think both of the shadows, both of the blue shades are stunning. But for the crease and transition colors, oh my god guys, spot on. I swear this Wet n Wild palette, literally the same thing as these transition shades, even though it's only 2, and the only thing that was like a little different is the shades in the Dose of Colors palette were a a little bit more vibrant, but they were exactly the same shade. Let me swatch them so you guys can see them side by side. Okay, so the swatches on my hand. This one, starting from the top, this one is Loungy. Then we have Wanderlust. And then we have the two bottom shades I used from the Wet n Wild palette that I thought were the closest in dupe. And honestly, this shade and this shade aren't really that close in color on my hand, but on my eye, literally, they were exactly the same shade, except the only thing, like the only difference was that the Dose of Colors was a little bit more vibrant, but the Wanderlust shade, so this, and the Wet n Wild shade, literally spot on, even on the swatch on my hand. Like, literally, they look exactly the same. Like, the undertone is the same, the shade, everything is literally the same. I am sort of blown away. Wow. I actually want to swatch the two shades from the Prism palette, the Eden and Saturn shades, just so I can see how close they are. Okay, so these are the two shades from the Prism palette. Wow, they're literally so close. But yeah, guys, I think both of the shades were beautiful. Both of the eye looks, I think, in my opinion, are stunning. If you wanted like a cheaper version of the blue shade or the blue color, the blue eye look that everyone's been doing, then I don't think this is a bad choice, you know? Okay, so the Wet n Wild palette was like $5, but I know these go on sale for like $2 or $3 at Walgreens. I've seen them and Ulta. And then the L'Oreal Pigment was buy one get one half off when I got it, so you could get it for $6 or $10 depending on where you go and depending on the sales. But honestly, if you compare like $15 to $16 or $15 to the $35 or $45 palette, then this isn't that bad if you ask me. And that concludes this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then please give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And I guess that's all that I have to say. Bye!